I bought every single LEGO Animal Crossing set just so I could get all the villager minifigures and ruin them. And they only get more cursed as the video goes on. Starting with the first set, Isabelle's house visit, which is probably my favorite out of the entire theme. You get so many incredible new prints, a cozy little house that looks nothing like the one from the game, this new tree design we'll be seeing a lot more of, and these poor innocent minifigures that do not deserve what I'm about to do to them. And I don't just mean ripping their heads off like this. I'm talking about combining these cool molded heads with other minifigure parts to create some utter monstrosities. So we're gonna grab Ruby the reindeer minifigure from Series 23, and these antlers actually come off her head, and all the Animal Crossing heads have this little hole in them that you can customize. That was a mistake. We've got deer fauna now. I'm looking at that torso. I think, yeah, that's what I was afraid of. And we could just use her legs as well, but I have a different idea. What if we use the Series 21 centaur legs to give her kind of a, okay, yep, that's terrifying. That figure also comes with a quiver too, but I think that technology is a little bit outdated. Let's modernize this and give her a big old gun. Okay, the hunted has become the hunter. This is ridiculous, but not quite as ridiculous as my plans for Isabelle over here. So New Horizons and a game called Doom Eternal launched on the exact same day 5 years ago. And the games have absolutely nothing to do with each other besides that, but the entire internet just decided that Isabelle and Doom Guy were just like best friends now. So I thought it would only be right to turn this puppy into Doom Guy. Using the torso and legs from this Hydra henchman guy. It's definitely not perfect, but this is the closest thing I had that had like these green abs basically. Speaking of which, we're actually gonna take this guy's arms off and replace them with greener ones that we can add the hands I had to steal from the original minifigure because I do not have any more in this color. The best kind of shoulder armor to give her would be from this Saw Gerrera minifigure that came in a special 25th anniversary Star Wars set. I already bought way too many sets for this video, so I decided to save my money and just use this slightly off-colored kind of gunmetal gray armor that came in this Space Police minifigure. It covers up way more of the glorious abs than Saw's armor would have, but you know, this is the best we got here. It's Doom Guy Isabelle, and you know what Doom Guy Isabelle needs? Another gun. This one's made with a bunch of binocular pieces connected to this snot brick, but there we go. I did not intend for the first two figures to both be so heavily armed, but they can use their artillery to skip the slingshot and knock down this balloon from this guy to reveal what's inside the box. The subscribe button. Please subscribe if you like this video. It was very expensive buying all the sets. I'm probably gonna save some money by just buying the figures, but I wanted to combine this and all the other sets together at the end of the video to create one giant Animal Crossing island for all our little freak shows to live on. Which brings us to our next set, the Able Sisters shop. Or should I say Able's sister, because it only comes with one of the three. But it does come with these brand new scrumptious prints, no stickers in the scene by the way, including the first appearance of this Bell coin, which is the currency of the game, and I kind of just want to buy a bunch of them. I know a little kid would love that. But inside, there's all these different clothing options on display for Sasha here to try on. Actually, wait, no, blue is Anne's color. Sasha should be wearing pink. And actually, this shirt in particular really reminds me of the Gonzo minifigure from the Muppet series. Or should I say,
Gonzo the Great!
Anyway, sorry, I had actually gotten most of the way through filming a different Animal Crossing video that was more story-based, where I had this whole thing going on where Tom Nook was punishing the peoples for their tax evasion crimes by asking Mabel here to create some cursed outfits for them. But as I was designing those with my brother, we realized that that actually made a way better video than the one I was working on, so I completely scrapped that, and then we have this to thank for that. So for Sasha, I found this weird-looking ice cream cone minifigure from the Lego Movie 2, because I don't know, her weird fur color really reminds me of this Lego flavor of ice cream. What flavor would you say this is? Comment down below. But since I can't just attach her head right to the ice cream cone body, it's its 4 studs, this round jumper gives us the perfect spot to connect her head right in the middle there. And then I'm also gonna steal this part of the frosting to give her a base to balance on. It's not quite cursed enough yet though, so we're gonna give her a spoon with horrifying implications. I don't know if you've seen this disturbing video clip of like a butter or mayonnaise man like eating himself. Yeah, that's what I imagine is going on here. She just takes like a scoop right from the top there, plops it on a cone, and then, good stuff. Whatever flavor that is, I don't want to know anymore. I do want to know if you thought the exact same thing I did when you saw this blue hedgehog character. Well, what do you think I'm gonna do with it? I managed to snag this Lego Sonic set for a super discounted price at Walmart. I think like over 50% off. And I've been waiting for an excuse to crack it open. And I was not disappointed. It comes with this super cool launcher design that you can slam and have Sonic run through the entire level, including a loop. Love that. And unlike certain other unnamed video game franchises, it actually comes with real minifigures. Like this Sonic, which we can use to create Mabel the Hedgehog. Oh no. Or Sonic the domestic hedgehog. I don't know which one of these I like the least. Look at their spiky hair, by the way. They nailed that. Looking fantastic so far, but the next set is this little poly bag. Maple's Pumpkin Garden. Literally nothing to talk about this set other than the cool minifigure, and the fact that her name is Maple gives me an idea. For some reason, my mind immediately goes to maple leaves, and in turn, the Canadian flag, and in turn, Canada. And I'm really proud of this one. You can just use a normal Lego leaf piece in red, and then it looks just like the Canadian flag. We're gonna have to make this a person, so we can attach different limbs to it, and this spot for the head to precariously attach to. Okay, that is wowzers. But I've given her 2 clips of hands to hold some very Canadian accessories, like a big old lumberjack axe, and a jug of half-drinking maple syrup that I assume just all Canadians carry around every day. You'll have to let me know if you're from Canada, I don't know. But there we go, nice little quick one before heading on to the next set, the Dodo Airlines Airport. This one's definitely another one of my favorites. I love all the new prints. The terminal and airplane are fun to play with, and the instructions encourage you to like customize your flag using some additional pieces and a crowbar the set includes. I will always advocate for more customization and creativity in Lego sets like this. My New Horizons island was called Wyoming for some reason, so I made the flag like a parody of the Wyoming flag using a rhinoceros instead of the bison, because maybe somewhat unsurprisingly we had this whole lore going on with an ancient species of rhinoceros / triceratops that roamed the lands like millennia before we got there. So anyways, let me upgrade that. And now we can upgrade / downgrade these figures, which are actually some of the most unique ones in the collection, this guy's head in particular. We definitely need the other Dodo, Orville, to recreate this masterpiece, but for now we can make Wilbur several times more cursed by using a couple different pieces from this Roadrunner minifigure. The helmet holes are once again coming in clutch to attach this piece to, and I was just gonna swap their heads, but then I realized we could probably do better for that torso by adding in some abs. There we go. Did you know that eagles mate for life, but their divorce rate is 15%? I just learned that today. But for the final customization, we can take these boring old legs and replace them with legs from the Harpy Series 25 minifigure to create Birdman. Oh no. This man looks like he's about to raise a statistic to 16%. Now let's see what we can do for Tangy. This bright orange color she's made of is a relatively rare color in Lego, which means I don't have a lot to work with here. But I was looking at this Mr. Eraser minifigure from the Lego Batman movie, and I think this pinstripe suit might work. Let's see here. All right, okay. Yeah, we can give her a tail, actually. Does this look like she's not wearing clothes? I don't know, it's the whole yellow classic spaceman all over again. We're gonna say she's just very finely dressed by giving her this snazzy cane. And I was so surprised to learn this is a Toy Story 3 Ham minifigure dressed up as evil Dr. Porkchop. He comes with this like rubbery bowler hat thing, and apparently it's just the right size to fit in the Animal Crossing helmet holes. Look at that, she's like a mafia boss. Oh dear. Honestly, at this point, I do not know whether to be proud or concerned. But I'm excited to move on to this next set, Bunny's Outdoor Adventures. It's such a wholesome little set that really makes me nostalgic for the beginning of the game. It comes with this humble little campsite and all these tools you can use to dig up fossils or money, pole vault across the river, catch butterflies or tarantulas, and commit deforestation. Like I said, a very wholesome set. Plus it features Bunny, one of the sweetest, most wholesome villagers of all. Let's ruin it. Okay, right off the bat, I'm thinking we give her these Cthulhu tentacles and this fiery torso from a Lego Chima minifigure. I'm thinking she could use these terrifying neon orange wings, and we can steal the tiniest little cape off Zast Tam here to give her an ever so slight menacing collar around the neck. We got this blood red scorpion shield, and at this point we might as well steal this pitchfork from this little demon child to complete the look. It looks like something Doom Guy Isabelle would have to take care of. I'm gonna see this thing in my nightmares. Just like this next set, Julian's birthday party. Not a fan of the lime green grass on this one. I know it's supposed to be like springtime, cherry blossom season, but it just looks ugly, man. And speaking of ugly, Julian is my least favorite Animal Crossing minifigure. I know he probably has his fans, but I don't know, man. They could have used this color scheme on my favorite villager, Filbert, instead. And I gotta be honest, I technically did not buy every single Animal Crossing set for this video. Technically, there is a Julian polybag that was released in certain regions that didn't even come with the unique torso print. They just used the exact same design as Sasha. No new head mold, no new torso, no thank you. Why'd they have to use Julian of all people twice? But regardless, he opened his birthday presents. They all just have the same subscribe button in them, and made a wish before blowing out his birthday candle. The smart aleck over here wished for infinite wishes. And you know what that means. We gotta turn him into a genie using the Series 9 minifigure. He actually has the exact same skin tone as J-Dog, so now he just looks shirtless. How many of the figures have been shirtless, by the way? Why is that my go-to technique for making them look more cursed? But anyways, we can also take this little tassel thing on his turban to replace his party hat with. And now he's looking bedazzled. But you know what would make him more bedazzled? These Lord of the Rings ring pieces that we can take his hands off and sandwich between between his wrists to look like shiny bangle bracelets. Then to bling him out even further, we got this shiny gold cape, and now he has reached max genie status. He's actually gonna use his newfound powers to wish to be a king. King Julian. Okay, yeah, maybe not. Zaboomafoo is the better lemur anyways. But this next set might give him some competition. Nook's Cranny and Rosie's house. Part of me wishes that each of these buildings were just released as their own standalone set that'd be way cheaper and more accessible for kids to get. But it does come with so many banger prints, including the Bubblegum KK album cover, and this cool cabinet that comes with a DIY recipe, flower seeds, and fish bait that after 5 years you still can't bulk craft. The Nook's interior isn't anything too special. It's missing Timmy and Tommy to really liven things up. But then Rosie's house is actually really cozy, and it comes with extra customization options like windows you can switch out, and you can take off the roof to swap it with this one from the other house, which I forgot to mention also comes with windows you can swap out. I don't think either of these customizations look any good, but it's cool that they exist regardless. And technically you can also swap out the roofs with the Able sisters, but I'm really not sure why you would want to. But enough with those ugly customizations. Let's move on to some ugly customizations. I'm kind of getting a pajama garment-on vibe from this one. Maybe that's just gas, but we're gonna see how she looks with 4 different arms. Wonderful. Wait, what if we just literally double all of her appendages? We can get her tail back from her original body. That's one tail. And then to get a second tail, we got this mermaid that I think is the exact same color as the PJs. And boom, there we go. I don't know how that works, like anatomically, but we've got 4-armed, 2-tailed Rosie here. And I mean, because she has 4 arms, we might as well give her 4 lightsabers as well. I know that serves absolutely no point, but it looks funny. And that's points enough in my book. Hello there. Uh-oh. I have a bad feeling about this one because I noticed he had the same medium nougat skin tone as this LEGO Friends Andrea character, and she comes in a wide variety of outfits, unfortunately including this swimsuit version. Yeah. I'm sorry. If we attach Mr. Nook's head to this hollow stud, it actually is the perfect size to fit on a LEGO Friend's neck. And then we get this monstrosity. No, no. And if we give him that bag of bells he was holding, I don't like that implication at all. This is absolutely the worst one we've done so far, but it's about to get worse with Captain's Island Boat Tour. The set itself is fairly unoffensive. I like this new palm tree design with this borderline illegal technique. It has a 1x1 clip connect to this clicky joint. Is that legal? And this multi-level bamboo island is kind of cool. But I'm just upset that Captain was added in the massive 2.0 update like 2 years after myself and many other players had fallen off playing. It was just kind of a shame I never got to fully experience it. And now these poor souls are gonna pay the price. Starting with Captain. I was gonna do a very basic like, oh, he's a captain. Look at him, he's a boat captain. But then I realized, oh, he's a turtle. That's a really cool shell print, by the way. And so he's just begging to be crossbred with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I think literally all we need to do is just swap their heads. I'm terrible at guessing the Ninja Turtle. I think orange is Leonardo. We're gonna go with that. But he looks interesting to say the least. Once again, technically shirtless, and this is technically also fake Lego. I got it in like this bulk lot of real Lego I tried to buy, and it's like, you know what? There's no Lego nunchucks. I might as well keep these cool little things. So sorry about that, but maybe that makes it more cursed. He's killed a man with these. Meanwhile, Leonardo looks like a sleazy used car salesman now. And then Marshall with his really cool bushy squirrel tail brings us 4% of the way there to 100 Lego squirrels. Someday, I know it's gonna happen. Wait, I think someone actually suggested 100 turtles as well. That one has potential. But anyway, sorry, there's a lot of Monkey Kid characters that come in the same tan color. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those, so we have to do the next best thing. Big monkey. Let's see what kind of neck joint we're working with here. Okay, it's the clicky joint. Obviously, that is not gonna attach to Marshall's head, but if we replace it with this mixel joint, we can do the same trick with a hollow stud as that Tom Nook abomination and click them in right there. Okay, the neck does not look great. I know it's supposed to be cursed, but that just looks bad. So one thing we could do to cover it up is just add this tie back in here. I know this should say MK, but I'm too lazy to print out something that would cover it up. And to fill in the rest of the gaps, there's still a lot of empty, weird, awkward space there. The Dwarf Barbarian CMF has this fur coat thingy, mink skin, that comes in clutch. By sandwiching it in there, we can cover most of the remaining gaps. And now we've got Big Monkey Squirrel Man. Wait, this tropical island is actually perfect for him. Just like this next set is perfect for all you owl enthusiasts out there. I know there's a lot of you. No, seriously, it's so great to get Celeste, and such a cheap set, by the way, because that means LEGO has the owl mold, and they could someday make Blathers in my most wanted Animal Crossing set ever, the museum. I could never seem to find Celeste on my island, so I hardly had any star fragments or recipes, but it is cool to get some of that furniture in LEGO form. And they did a decent job translating Owl Girl into LEGO, but I think we can do better. done. No, just kidding, but that's actually not too far off. We're gonna use this Series 18 minifigure to turn her into an actual Lego brick. And because she has those aggressive owl eyebrows, she always looks like such an angry bird, which Lego also made for that weird movie they did. The Angry Birds minifigures come with these weird feathery arms. They're ever so slightly different than minifig arms, but you can actually take them out of their sockets and put them in normal minifigure sockets. This is not normal, but you know what I mean. Look at the difference if we just do one of them. I'm tempted to just keep it like this, but we need the other arm to hold the knife. She only looks slightly deranged, and now we can stack up a bunch of bricks on top of her to create this thing. Oh no. Let's move swiftly on to Leif's caravan and garden shop. The caravan's on Har's Island. There's another feature from the 2.0 update that I missed out on, but that's a good looking sign. You can use that in all sorts of things, not just Animal Crossing. I always hear Animal Crossing fans say, oh, new Leif was better, but we're gonna find out by making a new Leif. He comes in this olive green color, which is pretty rare for minifigure parts, so unfortunately the only other olive figure I had was General Grog, who is shirtless. I promise I'm not doing this on purpose. Here, to give him more decency, we're gonna steal this hula skirt from the Series 3 minifigure to at the very least cover up his legs. He's looking more and more like this ancient tribal warrior, so we're gonna give him this 6 shoulder armor and metal fisticuffs to make him look as threatening as possible. But that is far from the most creepy figure in the set. This is another Lego squirrel, baby. We're gonna get 100 in no time. But anyways, her name is Poppy, which made me think of a certain popular video game franchise that even I, who live under a rock, know what it is. Poppy's Playtime. I don't know anything about it, but I know it is a thing. So we're gonna try to transform her into the blue character. Yeah, I don't even know what the blue character's name is. But we can give her a tiny little blue body with a bar for these long spindly legs to attach to, and these snot bricks for the even longer and even spindlier arms to attach to. This makes me deeply, deeply uncomfortable to look at. I hate how it has these claws. Who would win in a fight? Comment down below. But we've made it to the final and biggest set out of them all. KK's concert at the Plaza. I am deeply terrified. I think more so than every other set, this one looks right out of the game. If you squint your eyes, it literally looks like a screenshot. Except for this thing, this is not in the game at all. Maybe this is from Pocket Camp, but KK definitely does not have an RV that he like travels around and eats pizza in. Although I appreciate the unnecessary extra compartment up top for you to fit his guitar into. Then sorry, one more complaint. There's like 100 KK Slider album covers and they decided to reuse one from an earlier set. Obviously the absurd amount of new prints makes up for it, like this Lost and Found box, ATM machine, another customizable flag, and this sick looking clock tower. By the way, this is one of very few sets to include these 2x2 purple tiles. Can you name another one in the comments? But I personally would have preferred another album cover like Go KK Rider or something over this random cafe sign that we didn't really need. But overall, this is a really fantastic autumn themed set with this orange colored tree and unfortunately a sweatshirt version of Isabelle. And I say unfortunately, not because I'm upset we're getting another Isabelle. It makes way more sense than stinking Julian, but it's unfortunate because of what you're about to see. I am so sorry in advance. But we're gonna start out with the least cursed out of these three, Audie, who comes in this new reddish orange color that I literally have 0 minifigure parts in that color, so we're gonna have to do something drastic. Every figure so far has kept their head and been given a cursed body, but Audie will keep her body, and we're gonna replace her head instead. You know, I was looking at this Creator Fox set and had a terrible idea. This head is also not in that reddish orange color, but it is incredibly cursed, especially with those beady, unblinking eyes. So we can literally just pop that on her head, and there we go. There's cursed Audie. Remember, I said this was the tamest of the three. It only goes downhill from here. Because for poor Isabelle, I made the terrible realization that she's the same color as Rabbit from the Winnie the Pooh set, and no. It's just as bad as I imagined. How come this torso looks fine with this head, but with this head make me want to bleach my eyes? Yeah, let's get this atrocity off your screen before I get demonetized and move on to the grand finale, KK Slider. Again, he was the last dog in the 100 Dogs video, and he's the last dog in this video. But music isn't his only hobby. He's also been hitting the gym. So we can upgrade his weak little dog body into the ultimate KK Slider Giga Chad.
Oh, yes.
All I can say is wow. Huge shout out to Hirachu24. I never know how to say his name, but he's an amazing builder, and I basically took his video and replaced all of the yellow pieces with white pieces, and the results kind of just speak for themselves. He's got the rippling abs, he did not skip leg day, and then the arms to strum it. Can he even reach his guitar anymore? He can kind of maybe strum it a little bit. My next video may very well be an apology video. These are all the extra pieces you get from the sets. There's so many tiny ones, and then these are all the extra minifigures I generated while making all of the cursed ones. There's just a lot of bits and pieces that I'm gonna have to clean up now. This is gonna be a mess. But now that we have all 19 of these traumatizing transformations, we can combine all the sets together and let them all loose upon the island. It's safe to say I ruined Animal Crossing today, but if you want to subject yourself to more of my machinations, you can watch me build cursed arcade characters or dinosaurs by clicking on one of the videos on screen. Oh no.